Alright, so let's now have the part 2 of our video. This time, we will going to study the sum and difference of two cubes. Bago tayo magsimula dito sa bagong topic natin, let's just have a short recap tungkol sa sum and difference of two squares, which is nandoon sa ating first video. So, sabi natin, if it is a sum of difference of two squares, let's have an example. 9 minus 4a squared. So, if it is a sum and difference of two squares, the first term and the second term has a perfect squares. So, what is now the factor of our given example here? So, the factor of 9 is, this is 3, and then we have 3. And then the factor of 4a squared is 2a. And then we have another 2a. So, sum and difference. So, therefore, this is plus and this is minus. So, this is just a short recap. Pero yung kabuuan ng video na to, please visit the first video para sa another example of the sum and difference. Okay, so let's now proceed to the sum and difference of two cubes. So, paano natin malalaman kung if it is a sum of and difference of two cubes? If the given binomial has a perfect cube. So, the first term is perfect cube and the second term is perfect cube. So, we have here the given formula, a cube minus b cube. So, paano natin siya ifa-factor? Okay? So, to factor, first, we will going to get the difference of the first and last term. So, a minus b. Why minus? Kasi yung sign niya sa given natin is minus sign or negative sign. So, first factor is the difference of the first and the last term multiplied by the square of the first term. So, square of a, that's a squared, plus the product of the first and last term. So, a times b, that's ab. And then, plus the square of the last term. So, the square of b, that is b squared. So, please take note of the sign. So, sa first factor natin, since difference yung hinahanap natin dito, minus sign muna yung first factor. And then, the next factor, if you will notice, all of the signs now are positive. So, the factor of a cube minus b cube is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Alright, so let's have an example. So, for example, we have a given binomial here, 8 minus y cubed. Okay, so 8 can be written as 2 cube, right? So 2 times 2 times 2, that is equal to 8. And then just copy the second term, which is y cube. Okay, now that they have the same exponent, we can now apply the difference of two cubes. So, sabi natin, kapag hinahanap natin yung difference of two cubes, so yung first and last term muna yung titingnan natin. So, we have the first factor, which is the difference of the first and last term. So, 2 minus y. So, difference of our first and last term. Next, what is the second factor? Sabi dito sa formula, the second factor is the square of the first term. So, huwag na natin siya tingnan. Dito na tayo titingin. So, the square of the first term, that will be 2 squared. Sign is positive. And then the product of the first and last term. So, product is 2 times y that will be 2y, plus the square of the last term. The last term is y. So the square of y is y squared. So this is now our second factor. So if we will going to simplify, this will become 2 minus y. 2 squared is 4. Then plus 2y plus y squared. So this is now the factor of our given binomial term. Okay, so let's have another example. Kaganina, yung ating example is difference of two cubes. So this time, how about the sum of two cubes? So sum naman yung hahanapin natin. So actually, same process lang din. So first step is to find the sum. Since this is sum na, sum of the first and last term. So this will become A plus B. And then the other factor, same process as well, squared the first term, product of the first and last term. So A times B is AB, and then squared the last term. So that is B squared. But take note of the sign. Kaganina sa ating difference of two cubes, ang sign niya is negative dun sa first factor, and then sa mga sumunod na factor is positive, positive, and positive. But this time, if it is a sum of two cubes, let me erase this one first. Okay, but this time, if it is a positive, or I mean sum of two cubes, yung kanyang sign sa second factor is alternate. So, a squared, positive, negative, and then positive. So, again, the factor will be a plus b times positive a squared, negative ab, plus b squared. Okay, so let's have an example. Okay, so for example, we have a cube plus 125 b cube. Okay, so 125 b cube can also be written as a cube plus 5b cube. So, sinimplify lang natin yung 125b cube. Naging 5, kasi 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125. And then b cube. Okay? So, since our both term is pareho ng cube, we can now factor applying the sum of two cubes. So, again, ang first step natin is to find the sum of the first and last term. So, ang ating first term is A, second term is 5B. So, A plus 5B. Alright? And then, what's next? Sabi dito sa ating formula, this time, square the first term. So, wag na tayong titingin dito. Dito na tayo titingin, ha? Square the first term. So, that will be a squared. What is our sign? Alternate. So, positive na to. Magiging negative na yung sign ng ating second term. So, product of the first and last term. So, a times 5b, that will be 5ab. And then, what is our sign? Since negative na to, magiging positive na yung sign natin. And then, squared the last term. So, ano yung squared ng last term? So, that will be 5b squared. So, to simplify our answer, let's just rewrite. a plus 5b times a squared minus 5ab plus squared ng 5 is 25 and then squared ng b squared. So this is now the factor of our the sum of our two cubes. A plus 5b times a squared minus 5ab plus 25b squared. Okay, so now let's have another example na pwede nating ma-encounter sa let. So let's have example number 3. 27x cubed minus 64y to the 6. So this is the difference of two cubes. So in our given example, pwede natin siyang i-rewrite as ano yung 27 equivalent ng 27. So that can be written as 3 cubed. And then x cubed minus, how about yung 64? Pwede natin siyang isulat as 4 times 4 times 4 or simply 4 cubed and y to the 6. So, ganyan yung equivalent niya, di ba? So, to simplify, pwede natin siyang gawing or i-rewrite na 3x cubed minus 4y squared and then cube. Okay? So, 3 cubed is 27. X cubed is x cubed. So, 27x cubed can be written as 3x cubed. Copy the sign. And then 4 cubed. 4 times 4, that's 16. Times 4, that is 64. And then y squared cubed. So, kapag ka may exponent na tayo, tapos ni-raise pa natin siya sa exponent, ano na yung gagawin natin sa ating exponent? I-multiply natin. So, y squared cubed, that is equivalent to 2 times 3 is 6. So, that is y over 6. So, therefore, 64y to the 6 can also be written as 4y squared raised to the third power or 4y squared cubed. Okay, now that we have both terms na naka-cube, we can now apply our difference of two cubes. So, applying the formula na pinakita ko sa inyo earlier, we have to write down first the difference of the two term. So, 3x, ito yung first term, minus 4y squared. So, this is now our first factor. And for our second factor, dito na tayo titingin ulit. So, squared the first term, 3x squared. Ano yung sign natin kapag ka-difference? So, lahat ng sign dito sa ating second factor is positive. So, plus product of the first and last term. So, 3x times 4y squared is 3 times 4 is 12 x y squared. And then next, we have the squared of the last term. So, 4y squared and then e squared pa natin siya. Okay? So, let's now simplify. Let's just rewrite our first factor. 3x minus 4y squared. Simplify natin tong first term. 3 squared is 9. x squared. And then our second term, that is plus 12x y squared. And our last term, 4 squared is 16. Y, ano yung exponent ni y? 2 times 2 is 4. So this is now the factor of our given example. 3x minus 4y times 9x squared plus 12xy squared plus, nakalimutan natin yung plus sign, so plus 16y to the fourth. Okay, so that's all for today. And thank you so much for watching. Sa next video natin, itatakal naman natin yung special product. If in case you have further question or kung meron kayong hindi naintindihan, just DM me. And kung may time tayo, I'll try to answer all your questions. So thank you so much once again for watching.